I'm back, man. I'm back. What's good, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another Marvel Moon Knight review, episode 5, titled The Asylum. Where do I start with this one? Pretty much where I kicked off with the last one. Same again. Straight off the bat, the acting in this one was incredible. There was, I think it's the first episode we've had and maybe the last episode as well, where there wasn't any other characters in it really. There was pretty much Oscar Isaac playing himself as Marc and Stephen, and then obviously Harrow in it. But apart from that, we didn't really get anything else. But let's go straight into it because I want to make this one really fast. First of all, definitely watch it. It's the best episode yet. And if you've watched all the other reviews, I've said that they've all been the best episode. Well, it's been incredible how each episode's got better and better. There's certain programs you get where and it's normal to have where you have a dip in an episode or something you're not interested in much, and then you go to another one and it goes up and it's up and down and peaks. This one's just been going up in terms of quality of programming, of storytelling, the intrigue, the thriller, the stuff that you have to figure yourself. I love it. I love every minute of it. Now this episode, obviously, we found out in the last one. Well, the last one we had Marc and Stephen in separate, split apart from each other, so they were no longer in the head. In the mind, it was two separate entities, obviously reflection of each other, but different characters as such. And this one bases around more of the mental health aspect more than any other episode. What I said in the last one, I was pretty much right on what I thought it would have been. But yeah, it's the Asylum has ended up being pretty much the visual representation of his mind and the underworld. And all the separate doors in the asylum lead to a part of his memory or a part of his personality, or whether it's a emotion of grief or anxiety or anything like that. And we find out in this one, which happens to a lot of patients. I said before, I've got personal knowledge on this. I'm not going to go into, but I might do a video one day if I feel like I'm up to doing it. But this has all been based on trauma, is where the personality of Stephen has come from, because Marc is the original entity. He is the original person. There isn't a Stephen, which we kind of gathered anyway. But it's come out of trauma, and by having this trauma, he's chose to almost have a separate personality to take him away from all of that. Now, a lot of people do this to compartmentalize any trauma in their life and move on, and people do it in different ways. Some people compartmentalize and just move on and act like nothing happened. Some people lead into a complete different persona and act happy on the outside and try and forget the bad stuff. And on this one, as a child, he created the persona of Stephen. Now, obviously, I don't think he done it by choice. He did take inspiration from the program that he was watching, what we saw in the last episode. I think the character's actual name is Stephen Grant as well, so it makes sense with the English accent and stuff like that. But the trauma came from the fact that as a child, his mom gave him the responsibility of looking after his little brother as they went out to play. His little brother died, and the mom blamed him for the death, even though it actually wasn't his fault. And he was quite young himself. So he had to deal with the trauma of his brother dying, then his mom blaming him, and then she didn't stop blaming him. He got worse and worse. He turned into an alcoholic. She's dead now, which Stephen didn't know himself. But what you get in this is you get a thing where the acceptance of Stephen's character, the personality, is finally coming around to the fact of, oh, I'm not real. My mum is dead. And all the times I was speaking on that, it was the answering machine I was speaking to. We get more of the stuff to do with the afterlife as well. It's a brain. This one for the brain is it's a crazy episode, but it's not confusing to the point where you don't know. If you can figure out what the visual representations are of the mind, you can figure it out pretty fast. There is a part in this where Stephen's personality, that character, he turned into sand, I think he's frozen in sand, and it looks like that's not coming back. But I don't know I don't know how that works, because they seem to be leaning into that they're two separate people. But I don't know. I honestly don't know, and that's the intrigue we've got here. And it ended in the reed field, which seems like a representation of how, like in Black Panther, he was in the the jungle, Obviously, I think what I like with Marvel is they don't have a resting place for the dead or this place what's limbo. It's not all the same place. It's kind of whatever you make of it. So Black Panther's was the jungle, it's the Black Panther, etc. And then wherever Thanos went with when he was talking to little Gamora, which everyone was like it's in the reality stone, but or the soul stone. It can't be inside the stone. So very, very interesting. Obviously, like I said, I'm brushing past loads of parts here, but that's because, like I said, I want you guys to go and watch it yourself. It was a hard episode to watch in terms of like it was quite emotional. And not everyone's gone through this in their life, and some people know people that have gone through it, or some people know people that have gone through it and kind of just like, you know, you can't really get into the mind of that person. This does a real good job of letting you know what it's like to be this kind of person. And like I said, I personally know this, and they must have done a lot of research in the mental health world to find out stuff like this. There's no way they just came up with it to the top of the head. It's my favourite type of story. But yeah, it's a bit harsh, man. The abuse he got from his mum, I think he was getting like, there's a part where she was trying to she was going to physically assault him as well. And you see him as an adult as well, even channeling Stephen, and kind of the origin of the adult Stephen, where he doesn't turn back to Marc until we see him in the first episode. So I thought that was pretty dope. But I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I've left out loads of bits, but that doesn't really matter. The episode was great. Oscar Isaac, I don't know how it works with these programs and that. I think you can only win an Emmy for something like this, but whatever that is, give him best actor right now, because, like I said, I've mentioned every single review now about his acting, and the only thing I can relate it to is maybe Split with James McAvoy, which for me is like one of the most outstanding acting things that I've ever seen. But it's not just him changing his accent, it's his demeanour, it's the way he carries himself. What can I say, man? But I'm looking forward to it. It's the penultimate episode, so I'm guessing that whatever happens now, I don't know if it's going to lead into some other aspects of the Marvel Universe, because they still haven't give any connection between them. I don't know where to connect to. We can all just think off the top of our head. You'd think that maybe something to do with like Kang the Conqueror, but you don't know because they don't really follow the comic book arc in every way. Although in this part they did. You saw the origins of him becoming Moon Knight as well. We'll see, man. But I've been your boy. Comment, like, subscribe. Go, like I said, go watch it first, and then come back here and comment. And then we can chop it up in the comment section. I'm just going to do the reaction to I think it's the second Jurassic Park trailer. I think it's just come out. Literally just come out. So I'm gonna go do that.